Congratulations on joining our company. We've worked hard to build our reputation with our clients by providing them with reliable, qualified, and capable employees. We chose you because we believe you reflect the high standards set by our company. We are glad that you're joining us and want you to know that we are committed to your success. We have prepared this orientation to inform you of your responsibilities regarding employment policies and procedures, general safety rules, hazardous communication, an ergonomics overview, and on-the-job accident and injury procedures. The materials covered in this orientation are not optional. Your understanding of these procedures is vital to ensure your employment, your safety, and the safety of your coworkers. Throughout the course of this orientation, we will pause to ask a number of practice questions, which are made up of both true/false and multiple-choice questions, and are meant to help you recall the information you have just learned. Please note that you may be quizzed on this and other information from the video. We take our responsibility as your employer very seriously, and we have gone to great lengths to provide you with a safe work environment. If you are injured on the job, we will deal promptly with legitimate claims and injuries. We have workers' compensation insurance that will pay your medical expenses and wages. We also have extensive experience investigating claims and will fight fraudulent claims with all available resources. We provide equal employment opportunities to applicants and employees without regard to race, religion, sex, age, disability, or any other basis protected under law. Equal employment opportunity will be extended to all persons in the employer-employee relationship. Reasonable accommodations are available to qualified individuals upon request. We prohibit all forms of workplace harassment. Harassment can be unwanted and offensive conduct that causes an intimidating or hostile working environment. Employees who believe they are victims of harassment in the workplace should immediately report the facts of the incident to us. Our company has a strict substance abuse policy about being under the influence of drugs or alcohol in the workplace. You will be given the specifics of our substance abuse policy and are required to sign a drug screen consent indicating that you understand and agree to our policy. The first step in achieving success is to be committed to your job placement and to meet the following expectations. Complete your assignment. Let us know if it doesn't sound right for you. Once you accept it, we rely upon you to complete it. Make a good first impression. We will provide you all the information you need in preparation. You should arrive at your assignment early, dressed appropriately, and prepared. Introduce yourself and ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask how something is done. When possible, at the end of the day, let your supervisor know what you've achieved and the status of your work. Complete your record of time worked, making sure to get all required signatures and submit it according to schedule. This will ensure you receive a paycheck on time. Your commitment as an associate also includes staying in touch with us. You must contact us when you are available for a new assignment. We may have new opportunities every day. If your schedule or assigned tasks change. If you are going to be late or absent. If you witness or sustain a workplace accident or injury. If you experience an issue or problem on your assignment, we want and need to know your concerns, no matter what the circumstance. If you move or change phone numbers. If our client talks about hiring you, we're pleased and we can help ensure a smooth transition. Inform us of any new skills you've acquired so that we can find the best assignment for you. Should you feel uncomfortable performing the job assigned, please let us know. Safety is no accident. It is a responsibility and a way of life. Now, let's discuss some general safety rules and procedures. The best approach to doing any job is to use common sense. An important rule to remember: never take a risk. When given an assignment, we will inform you of your duties. We must approve any and all changes from your duties before you perform them. Hazardous working conditions or unsafe actions of coworkers must be reported to your supervisor and to us immediately. You should be properly trained before operating any tools, equipment, or machinery. Horseplay, unauthorized activities, and athletic events during work hours are not permitted on the job site. Walk, don't run on stairs, use the handrails, and watch for wet or slippery surfaces. Ladders should be used with caution. Be sure they are sturdy, at a safe angle, and placed correctly so that stretching can be avoided. Use passageways. Taking shortcuts behind machinery, office equipment, or through parking lots can be dangerous and is not permitted. Use proper lifting procedures. Keep your hands clean. Skin irritation can be caused by simple things, such as chemicals in paper and ink. Keep work areas clean and clutter-free. Use proper tools that are in good condition on your job. Only trained, certified, and authorized operators are allowed to use equipment such as forklifts, pallet jacks, order pickers, tow boys, and hand trucks. Do not continue working if you feel ill. Stop what you are doing and notify your supervisor. Dress according to your job and always use required personal protective equipment or PPE. Our employee dress code states, you must be neat and clean. Never wear torn or loose clothes that could easily be caught in machinery or cause a hazardous situation. Earrings, bracelets, neckties, and necklaces create hazards if caught in machinery. Your hair should be clean, pulled and tied back. Practice question number 1. True or false? You are expected to take unsafe risks in order to get the job done. You may accept a position in a location that requires you to wear PPE. PPE is not a substitution for workplace safety practices, but is to be used in conjunction with these practices to ensure your safety and health. Let's review the most common types of personal protective equipment. Safety glasses protect your eyes from moderate impact and particles. Face shields provide a high level of protection against splashes, splatters, flying particles, and various impact hazards. Head protectors, or hard hats, resist penetration and absorb the shock of a blow. You should be comfortable with the condition of the head protection provided. Protective footwear includes reinforced safety shoes, insulated boots, and slip-resistant shoes. Safety gloves are designed to protect your hands from exposures to chemicals, abrasions, cuts, and heat. If you have any specific questions about the proper PPE for your job assignment, let us know. We can get the equipment necessary and properly train you on its use. If there is PPE that our client supplies you, make sure you are properly trained on its use and maintenance. A hazardous condition can develop at any time. When you drive to work, you use caution. When crossing the street, you look for oncoming traffic. Likewise, in the workplace, you must continuously protect yourself by making good judgment decisions. Some of the more common hazards to be aware of are overhead hazards. These might include suspended loads that could fall, energized wire or equipment that could be hit against or could fall, work being conducted above your head where things could be dropped, sharp objects or corners at head level, electrical hazards, which can include exposed electrical wires, frayed electrical extension cords, overburdened electrical outlets, maintenance performed on equipment that is not properly locked out and tagged. To avoid common electrical injuries or even death, here are a few important rules. Use caution at all times when working near electrical equipment. Do not overburden electrical outlets. Inspect electrical cords for frayed wires or damage before using. Do not operate electrical equipment if you are standing in water or if the equipment has become wet. If working at heights, always look for loose or dangling overhead wires before you start working, and always assume that overhead wires are energized at lethal voltages. Never touch a downed wire, even if it looks insulated. Finally, never attempt to repair electrical wires unless you are qualified and authorized by us to do so. Another common hazard that can show up in almost any environment is bloodborne pathogens. A bloodborne pathogen is an infectious microorganism found in human blood that can cause disease. Here are important guidelines you should be aware of in the workplace. Treat all blood and bodily fluids as if they are contaminated with HIV, hepatitis B, or other potentially harmful microorganisms. Wear all appropriate personal protective equipment if you are working around sharp objects or if there is a possibility you may come into contact with infectious materials. All sharps should be disposed of in appropriate containers. If you come across a potentially harmful or infectious sharp such as a needle, inform a supervisor so it may be disposed of properly. If you are stuck by a needle or other sharp, or if you get blood or other potentially infectious materials in your eyes, nose, mouth, or on broken skin, you should immediately flood the exposed area with water and clean any wound with soap and water or a skin disinfectant if available. Immediately report the incident to this staffing company and get medical attention. You should also be aware of natural hazards, such as changes in the terrain. Look before taking a step to avoid tripping. Weather influences the working environment. You must exercise caution when commuting or working in the elements. When it is cold, remember to dress warmly with layered clothing. If clothes become wet, change as soon as possible. Wear non-skid footwear to avoid the danger of slips and falls. To avoid heat stroke and heat exhaustion in hot weather, wear lightweight, light-colored clothing and a brimmed hat for protection. Drink plenty of liquids such as water, fruit juices, and sports drinks. To reduce walking hazards, always follow designated traffic flow areas, especially in warehouses. Do not take shortcuts around machines or walk in travel areas designed for machines such as forklifts. It is easy to become immune to the dangers of working around powered industrial trucks. With all the different noises that can occur in various working environments, warning sounds such as backup beepers or vehicle motion alarms can get lost or blend into the background. The key is to always be aware of your surroundings. Here are a few essential tips when working around forklifts and other powered industrial trucks. Establish eye contact with the lift truck driver. Never assume the lift truck operator knows you are there. Always make your presence known. Watch out for the tail swing when a lift truck is turning. Keep a safe distance from the lift truck and stay clear of the fall zone, which is a full circle around the lift truck, equal to twice the height of the carried load. Do not walk under the raised forks of a lift truck. Even when empty, the forks could fall without warning. Never ride along on a lift truck or stand on the forks as they are being raised. Finally, you may not drive or operate a forklift unless you have a powered industrial truck certification and have also been authorized by this staffing company to do so. Lifting hazards exist in most work environments. Use the following guidelines to prevent injuries. Think about the proper way to lift an object before attempting to lift it. If the load is too heavy or awkward to handle yourself, ask for help. Plant your feet close to the load and grasp the load firmly. Lift gradually by using your leg muscles. Keep your back in a natural, comfortable position. Don't twist or overreach. Reverse the procedure to set a heavy object down. If a load is falling or off balance, do not try to catch it. Practice question number 2. True or false? It is all right to operate a forklift if you are not certified. Practice question number 3. When lifting a load, you should A. Bend at the waist and use your back for power. B. Never ask for help. C. Use your legs and keep your back straight. When operating machinery, take the safe approach. Moving parts can cause serious injury and should have adequate guards or emergency stop buttons. Make sure they are in place and secure before using. Machine guards are intended to keep your fingers, hands, arms, and clothing from being pinched or pulled into the machinery. Never remove or tamper with the guards, and never operate machines with the guards removed. Safety switches and other guard devices must be used when required. Report to your supervisor and to our company any equipment that is unguarded or not working properly. Serious accidents can occur if you try to dislodge an equipment jam. Never attempt to repair or service industrial machinery unless you have been assigned by us to do so. Never put yourself in a position where you could be hurt or fall into the machine if the jam suddenly clears. Again, report any problems to your supervisor and us immediately. Lockout tagout is a safety procedure used during machine malfunctions or maintenance to prevent injuries. Lockout tagout is used when repairing or working on electrical equipment or circuits, working on hydraulic equipment in a raised position, working on pipelines or hoses that could become pressurized. Do not perform lockout tagout duties unless we have assigned you to do so and you have received site-specific training. Never remove the lock or tag from equipment unless authorized to do so. Where electricity or other energy is concerned, if in doubt, lock it out. We abide by OSHA's Globally Harmonized System for Hazard Communication, or GHS. This system is for your protection and includes criteria for the classification of health, physical, and environmental hazards, as well as the proper labeling of chemicals. It establishes your right to know about chemicals you may encounter while on the job. GHS requirements of OSHA include the labeling of containers and use of safety data sheets, also known as SDS. Chemical manufacturers are required to provide a label that includes a harmonized signal word, pictogram, and hazard statement for each hazard class and category. Also, manufacturers are required to provide SDS sheets for all hazardous chemicals used in the workplace. If you are assigned to a work site where you will be around chemicals, you will have access to GHS information, including safety data sheets. If you are not sure about a chemical, ask your supervisor. Should you be asked to handle chemicals and you have not received the proper safety training, contact us immediately. Remember, it is your right to know, and it is your responsibility to comply with any specific worksite safety rules and procedures relating to hazardous materials. Practice question number 4. Hazardous communication (HazCom) training includes A. A globally harmonized system, GHS, for identifying hazards and chemicals. B. A safe lifting orientation class. C. A training program on machine operation. Ergonomics is the design and arrangement of people and things to interact efficiently and safely. Assembly work may appear easy, but repetitive movements or prolonged awkward postures can lead to localized pain and injury. Adjust your work area and change the way you sit. Stand and position your hands to allow different muscles to provide support while others rest. On break periods, be sure to stretch and move around. This provides rest to the muscles and allows them time to recover. Alternate job duties when possible by mixing various tasks into the workday. Workstations should permit the following: head and neck to be upright, head, neck, and trunk to face forward, trunk to be perpendicular to the floor, shoulders and upper arms to be perpendicular to the floor, upper arms and elbows to be close to the body, forearms, wrists, and hands to be straight and parallel to floor, never bent upwards or downwards. Thighs to be parallel to floor and lower legs to be perpendicular. Feet to rest flat on floor or be supported by a stable footrest. Know your work sites. An approved first aid kit should be easily accessible. Notify your supervisor if you need any item commonly kept in the first aid kit. Become familiar with fire safety and evacuation plans posted at all work sites. Great care has been taken to place you in a safe working environment and to instruct you on performing your duties safely. Our clients are committed to providing a safe work environment. However, accidents can occur even at the safest work sites. Therefore, it is very important that you comply with the policies and procedures for on-the-job accidents and injuries. Guidelines you should know and follow are: proper notification concerning any on-the-job injury is vital to ensure prompt medical treatment. Your supervisor will help you follow this process. Unless it is an emergency, it is your responsibility to contact our office immediately and inform us of your injury. Never assume someone else has contacted us. A representative from our office will coordinate your transportation and may meet you at the clinic or physician's office. As with every incident, we conduct a thorough investigation. In compliance with our substance abuse program, you have signed a drug screen consent form. Post-accident drug testing may be implemented when employee drug use is likely to have contributed to the incident. Modified or restricted duty is provided to get you back to work as quickly as possible without losing time or compensation. As a quick review, immediately report any on-the-job accident or injury, no matter how insignificant it may seem. If you wait even one day, workers' compensation benefits for the injury or claim may be questioned. One final point: by signing your record of time worked and/or signing for your paycheck, you are verifying that you reported any on-the-job accident or injury that you sustained or witnessed during that time period. Our commitment to your safety includes ongoing safety education in the form of meetings, reminders, and in some cases, safety incentive programs. We expect you to fully participate. As our employee, you may have suggestions concerning safety at the job site. Your suggestions are welcomed and encouraged and will never have a negative impact on your employment. Practice question number 5. If you experience an on-the-job accident or injury, you should immediately report the incident to A. Your supervisor at the client site, B. This staffing company, C. Both your supervisor at the client site and this staffing company. By now, you can see that we take safety very seriously, and we expect you to do the same. Failure to adhere to these guidelines will lead to possible disciplinary action, up to immediate termination. Remember, these guidelines are not optional, and non-compliance may affect workers' compensation benefits should you sustain an on-the-job accident or injury. In closing, let's review the key policies and procedures. Follow along on the Policies and Procedures checklist provided to you and initial the box to the left of each statement as we review them one last time. 1. I understand this staffing company takes their responsibility as my employer very seriously, and that they have gone to great lengths to provide a safe work environment. If I am injured on the job, the staffing company will deal promptly with legitimate claims and that they retain workers' compensation insurance that will pay medical expenses and wages. I also understand that the staffing company has extensive experience investigating claims and will fight fraudulent claims with all available resources. 2. If I sustain an injury on the job, I will inform the client and staffing company immediately. The staffing company will coordinate with the client and myself, and all proper procedures for treatment as well as reporting of the accident. 3. This staffing company has a strict substance abuse policy, and I have signed a consent form to submit to drug testing. I understand that my failure to comply with this agreement will be grounds for my immediate termination. 4. I understand and will comply with this staffing company's safety rules, regulations, and hazardous communication program explained to me in the orientation. 5. I am telephone accessible and I have reliable transportation. 6. I understand that I am an employee of this staffing company and only this staffing company or I can terminate my employment. When an assignment ends, I must report to the staffing company for my next job assignment. 7. I understand that I am expected to complete any job assignment that I accept. I understand that if I do not complete or promptly notify of my inability to complete the assignment, or if I do not report for my next assignment, this staffing company may assume I have voluntarily quit and I will not be eligible for unemployment benefits. 8. If, for some unexpected reason, such as an emergency or illness, I cannot make it to work or will be late, I will contact this staffing company as soon as possible. 9. I understand this staffing company's requirements for receiving information documenting hours worked, the method of providing this information, and the time frame for me to provide this information. I understand this staffing company will not recognize or pay for any hours worked by an employee without proper documentation verifying hours worked. 10. I have read and fully understand the above statements regarding this staffing company's policies and procedures and agree to the same. I understand that failure to comply with these policies and procedures could lead to my termination and may jeopardize employment benefits. This brings us to the end of our time together. Our representative will advise you of any additional policies and procedures or specific client information needed for your assignment. Again, we're glad to have you representing our firm.